But I'm going to go ahead and talk very, very briefly. If you aren't interested in Paris or Seoul and want to go to London, Prague, Beijing, Mysore, India, or Florence, there are other opportunities for you. These are basically the programs in which we have pre-approved the courses that they teach for transfer credit to GISLIS. If you're interested in them, see me after and I'll give you this nifty little form that gives you more information about who to contact and how to apply. I'm not the person that can give you specific information about these programs. I can tell you that we've had students that have attended through these universities, and I would speak directly with M. Claire Knowles if that's something that you are interested in, because you want to make sure that you will be able to transfer that credit back, and financial aid will work a little differently as well. So if that's an interest, just let me know and I will give you this form and you can look up some more information. So I'm going to turn it over to Larby, who's going to talk about the things you have lots of questions about, which is cost, financial aid, and how to apply.
And we're actually not going to look at what's up there, but we're going to look at this handout that I'm going to give you because because that has changed. Oops, Bethany put that up. So let me get a sense of how many of you are interested in Korea? Everyone, really good. And the rest of you, Paris? Okay, good. Giving me a good sense. Okay, so on this sheet that we're handing out and that will be available on the Study Abroad website, the GISLIS website, in both of our offices, everywhere on campus that you might need this, available to your friends, pass it out to your neighbors, whatever you need. We have the dates, the fees, and the application, the links for the applications. So that's the key. Those are the bit.ly links that are listed there. GISLIS Paris, GISLIS South Korea, the difference, a slight difference in cost there. GISLIS Paris, as Jerry was saying, does include all breakfasts. They both include international round-trip airfare, accommodations, in-country, cultural activities, and international health insurance. That is mandatory. Everyone does get the international health insurance, regardless of what kind of health insurance you currently have. So, the logistics. Let's take a look at the nice little chart at the bottom. 15th of March is the last day to submit applications, because we are also extending these applications out to other LIS students outside of Simmons. You may wish to get your application in sooner, okay? In the event that, say, Paris fills, you know, we would be looking at your application and you may want to get it in before the 15th. Hint, hint. Okay, so then what we're looking at is about a month or so later, there is a $700 deposit. So that's your way of saying, yes, I do so promise that I am going on this trip with you, okay? Same dates for Korea as for Paris there. Then, all of you have a current and valid passport. If you don't know the expiration date on your passport currently, I would have you go home and take a look at that so that you know when it expires, because your passports need to expire no sooner than 6 months after the 18th of August. Okay, that's the soonest that they can expire. Airlines can choose not to let you on the plane if your passport expires before, what is that, January, February of 2014. Okay, so double check your passports, please. As Jim was asking, there are no visas required for this. You're not going to be in country more than 90 days. At least I don't believe anyone is staying that long if you're going to come back for the fall semester. So you will not need visas for either of these programs. Then we're looking at final payments due in May. And then we are going to need things like digital photos and other forms, and all of that is dealt with online. The same place where you apply for the program is the same place where you're going to be filling out all these forms. And just to let you know, faculty, I'm going to need passport photocopies and digital photos from you as well. So, just let you know. And then we've got dates in there, departure and return dates there. Okay, so this little sheet has all your dates and deadlines and lots of, you know, it's basically your gold sheet for now. Okay, take extras if you want to share it with your friends and family. Okay, so these are the basics. Okay.
Talk briefly about financial aid.
Yes, costs and financial aid. Okay, so this is so let me talk first about the deposit. That is not covered by financial aid. That's hard cash. You can pay by check, you can pay with credit card on ARC. That is not covered through financial aid. We are basically paying either plane tickets or putting down deposits on hotels, things like that. So we need that right away. If you have perhaps a refund check that you've gotten from financial aid, you can convert that and turn around and pay us back. That's fine. For financial aid, anything you've got federal or state aid, that's great. That will cover, you see, you've got a program fee plus tuition. Right, your tuition is just the standard price of your 3-credit class here. And I would also have a chat with your individual financial aid officer, because they can look at your program fee and say, oh, you've got additional educational expenses, so we can potentially up your financial aid. Because this is a summer class, okay? And you will probably only be taking 3 credits is typically what happens. You actually need to have 6 credits in order to be eligible for financial aid. Okay, so typically what happens is people will take summer 1, will take 1 course in summer 1 or do an online course or something like that, and then do this in summer 2, and then you'll be eligible for those grad loans and other great things like that. But again, a chat with your financial aid officer is always worthwhile. Okay. Other questions, or do we want to just go through this and then take questions later?
Yeah, I think that's, and just another point, going back to financial aid and all that good stuff, if you are graduating at the end of this summer, let us know. Because we basically are finishing the program like the day the semester ends. So in terms of grades, we will have to work with your instructor for the course to try and make sure that we can get you graduated in the summer. It may affect certain things. It's something we'll have to address together, but definitely let us know if that's when you plan to graduate at the end of summer.
If you finish your coursework at the end of the summer session, is that the date of graduation as well as finish your coursework? In other words, if you finish your coursework, if you finish your coursework in August, when do you actually graduate?
Terry?
Yeah, you graduate in August as long as the faculty member gets your grades in on time.
Okay.
Or earlier.
Or earlier. And so you need to talk to the faculty member to make certain that that happens. And if they don't, then in fact you graduate in December.
We'll take care of it.
So that's why we say let us know. Let us know ahead of time, because that way we can try to move your assignments in a different way that we can get them back in time to have you graduate if that is the case. But we'll work with you. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, this is going to be on YouTube, right? So, and the point of that is to pick up the non-GISLess people. So is there anything that we want to say to the non-GISLess people, that they'll be applying as a non-degree, the tuition is the same, the fee is the same, they have a different due date, and we'll work out the transportation?
Sure, yeah. So basically, last year was the first time we had someone from outside of GISLess join us on a trip to Seoul. We had a student from URI, which was awesome. She was a great contribution to the trip. So we are hoping that we will have students from other ALA accredited library programs join us in both Paris and Seoul. The difference for them will basically be that the price is the exact same, the tuition is the same, except their program costs, we subtract out the cost of the airfare. So it looks like, if you go to our website, the website here, if you actually scroll down, there's a lovely section that says costs, and it actually spells it out very specifically. If you are not a Simmons GISLess student but are participating for transfer credit, the cost is $1,128. Now for you guys, if you look at that, you're like, why is theirs cheaper? That's not fair. The airfare is not included. They actually have to book their own airfare. And the reason is this, if they're from like Milwaukee or California or Texas, it's not fair to make them fly into Boston and then fly. That's like a huge inconvenience, and we're not trying to make trouble for anyone. So they can book their own flight, and we will let them know specifically you have to meet us as close to this time as possible on this specific day, and we will know where to meet them. So that's why it looks a little bit different for them. Their due dates are also listed on this website in terms of application. It's the same process except that for GISL students, you're just filling out this lovely, it's right here. So for you guys, the application to study abroad is very straightforward. You need to have taken at least 12 credit hours prior to the trip starting to be eligible to take a travel course. That's for both programs. The application is quite simple, and that pretty much requires you to put in some information about the course you've taken, how many, what you're doing now, personal information, and an essay. The essay is pretty short, it's like 2 or 3 paragraphs, and it basically explains why you want to study abroad. Which in the event of a lot of students applying and us having a lot of applications to go through, that essay is important because it lets us know why this travel course will be valuable to you and how you think it will contribute to your education here at GISLIS.
Can I also add? There are actually 2 pieces in that application. There's the standard personal statement that Bethany was talking about. There's also a second piece, a supplemental application that asks for references, that asks for which classes you're intending or hoping to take, as well as an additional statement that asks for experiences that you've had leadership-wise, as well as how you intend to contribute to the group. Okay, so this is the case in when you're going on a group experience, a group travel course, that you need to think not only about your individual goals for the trip, but also how you will contribute to the group. So that's one of the pieces and one of the questions that we're looking at in the application.
Good point. Yeah, and it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't take that much time to complete the application. So like Laura said, I would get on it as soon as possible, in case there are a lot of applications. So it doesn't take very long. Again, the students who are not from GISLIS will also be filling out the exact same application. However, they actually will need to email GISLIS admission by February 1st and complete a non-student degree application, meaning that they're going to be taking our course for transfer credit, and we need to just make sure that they are enrolled in an AOA accredited program, they've taken enough credits at their home institution, and once we've gotten the go-ahead from admission, they'll then go through the same process that you guys will go through to seek admission to the program.
Beth, you did something that Chris pushed already to a lot of places. I've already got emails on the program from other schools.
Yep.
So where has it gone?
It went out on Jesse.
Basically different, yeah, like a lease and ASIST and something. And this is pretty standard. You know, these programs here as well, like Florida State, we constantly receive information about their programs in case, you know, we do have students that come and say we really want to go to London. Unfortunately, we don't offer a London program, but we're more than happy to point our students towards their program. And vice versa, we like to send our programs out to other schools in case somebody, like last year, the student from URI just sent me an email and said, hey, I just happened to notice that you have a Seoul program. I very much want to go to Seoul and take an LIS class there. Would you consider including me? Which is great. So we're really just trying to be more of like an international course community. You know, if there's a place you want to go and take an LIS class, we all try to work together to, you know, include as many students as possible. And I think that's all in terms of the application. They're both up here. Again, the links are on that nifty little sheet. It again reminds you of all the information we've gone over. We'll include the timeline of when things are going to be due, and you'll also get really annoying emails from me on GISLIS info regarding when these applications are due, just to remind you. And then if you have questions as you're filling these things out, you can always email me at gislisfellow@simmons.edu, or you can email Laura as well at Study Abroad. And we're happy to help with any of those as they arise. And I think that covers all the logistics. I know that's a lot of information. What questions are there? Awesome. That's the first time. All right.